this is a familiarization to appreciate the great works under the leadership of President Idi Mnangagwa, where we are now being hosted by the Chief Executive Officer in terms of ensuring that as a country, the President, Dr. Idi Mnangagwa, has taken a lead to document, to unite Africa, and also to be in a position to be able to construct Africa's museum, which will also have a lot of impact in the way Africa interacts with the rest of the world. This familiarization tool is very important for us as a ministry, because currently the focus is heritage-based broadcasting, and the Liberation City also takes account of the pre-colonial times, the liberation movement's participation in order to free Africa, the different stages that we underwent as a continent, from the period where Africa was free from suppression by other foreign powers, to the period where Africa worked together in the Africa trade within different kingdoms. It also takes us to the slavery period, where Africa's resources, and in particular the human resources, were destroyed, shipped during the Atlantic slave trade era, how Africa lost. It also dates back in terms of the contributions to the loss of Africa in terms of its human capital capacity as a continent to be able to rebuild and to reshape the continental narrative in terms of economic development. It also moves to the scramble of Africa, where foreign powers under the leadership of Otto von Bismarck during the Berlin Conference decided to partition Africa, and we currently have these colonial borders. But the documentation also takes care of the different stages and the different models of warfare that Africa undertook to liberate the continent under different founding leaders, which also includes the OAU Liberation Committee, which also played a key role to liberate Africa. But also includes the different stages and the support that we received as a continent from other progressive states like Russia, China, Cuba, in order to free Africa, but also the contribution by African countries themselves in order to free the continent. The role of Tanzania, the role of Ghana in terms of the liberation of Africa, the All Africa Conference. It also includes the historical part, which takes care of the OAU Liberation Committee, headed by Comrade Colonel the late Ashim Bita, and the role of different African countries, Egypt, the role of Algeria, in order to free Africa as a continent. So we believe this is part of heritage-based broadcasting, which is very important for us as a continent.
Honorable Minister, for coming to appreciate the developments at the Liberation City, which is a project that is being spearheaded by His Excellency the President as a home of the African story, where the African is telling his or her own story. Kwatakabva, patiri, nikwatiri kwenda. As you are aware, development of a country hinges on the narrative. If foreign direct investment is not a good story to tell. And so the president has been leading the way in the telling of the African story at the Liberation City, which houses the Museum of African Liberation, the Zimbabwe Defense Forces Heritage Monument, a 5-star hotel, the Liberation Mall, and the Heritage Village. And so we really, Honorable Minister, want to thank you for coming you have demonstrated your hands-on approach to be able to understand what is happening here, and we hope the next time you come, we will but everything will be up and running.